think everything is in order. Let's go and... I say thrash so much. What's a better alternative? Obliterate? Nah, I say that a lot too. I guess I don't really say annihilate that often. Let's go annihilate back. I think I might bias more lats for this back day. You know, obviously your back, you got your upper traps, mid back, kind of more lats. Right, you get the deal. Because I can kind of feel like I hit my traps a little bit yesterday when I was doing shoulders, just because of all the lateral raises. Plus, you know, the face pulls were getting me a little bit too. So that's making me think that for this back day, I want to make it a little bit more so, you know, pull down, pull over, you know, bro science logic width based, right? You know, everybody always says some shit about how like pull downs and pullovers are for width and rows are more so for thickness. I think there may be an argument to be made. Obviously, you're not going to be hitting your traps even nearly as hard on pull downs as you will on rows, so I guess I see what they're saying a little bit there. But I don't really get too concerned. As long as I get a full back pump every back day, then, you know, some days I might make it a little bit more so, you know, I might do a little bit more rowing movements. And other days I might do a bit more pull down based movements. I don't really think, well, at least me personally, I don't really feel the need to have like a lat focused day and a mid back focused day. Because at the end of the week, let's say you do, you know, a normal split where you hit everything twice a week. If you do a lat focused day and then an upper back focused day, the guy who did just the whole back the first day and the whole back the second day did the same amount of volume. So, you know, for me, it just kind of makes sense to want to just get a back pump and get out of there. You know, do whatever movements feel good. So let's say, like for instance today, my traps are feeling a little bit extra fatigued. Like I can tell just sitting here, I mean, not like sore, but maybe just like a little bit. Maybe it's even just subconscious because I know I felt them yesterday. But for whatever reason, that's kind of biasing me to want to do more lats. So that is all I have to say about that. But then again, I'm not even in the gym yet. I don't know. Maybe I'll get in there and for whatever reason, I'll want to do all rows. Like on my way to the gym, I have a general outline of what the workout's going to look like. But really, it's up to whatever I sort of get inspired to do in the moment. But I know for a fact this back day will consist of 8 hard sets. And at the end of it, assuming that the little posing room is not taken, it's going to have a freaky lighting pose down as well. So I already slammed the pre. Let's just get in there for the first working set. Unfortunately, lengthy wait, but what are you going to do? It's kind of packed in here. I mean, it's still quicker than if I would have drove 30 minutes to my other gym, so that just kind of balances out. Oh. Okay. All right. Let's do one more like that. Okay. All right. I think that's enough of that. Oh. Let's do some barbell rows. So considering I am loading my glutes, my hamstrings, my lower back a lot with this kind of movement, I did do a little bit of a feeler. I did a couple reps with 2 plates, a couple reps with 2 1/4. So 3 big ones, you know, let's just throw the shit around. Obviously, you know, maintain reasonably strict form.
All right. I think that's enough of that. But for whatever reason, I wanted to just hit one. But after actually doing the set, oh, I'd rather do some kind of cable row, or maybe even a machine row. So let's move on. I'm not typically a huge machine. I'm not typically a huge fan of these kinds of machines. They're just kind of funky. But I guess this one I like, so it's going against the status quo. But the weight, even with the whole stack, it's not insane. So I'll try to go kind of slow and squeeze it. Okay. Let's do one more. I kind of like that. Okay. All right. I think that's enough of that. I'm not really sure what I want to do next, but I'll think about it for a moment. All right, so I was thinking about doing like one arm pull downs, but the machine is just not ideal for that setup. So instead, I don't want to just sit here and wait any longer. So I'll just do a set of single arm pullovers. And then I've got 2 more sets left for back. I'll decide what I want to hit. Okay. All right. That felt pretty good. Those sets, like when I do a set of single arm pullovers, it's not really to failure, quote unquote, because you can kind of do it like, I don't want to say infinite, but you could do a ton of partials. Really what I'm trying to do is just squeeze every rep hard until I feel like it's enough. This is the first time I've come in here where I've actually been kind of fucked. Everybody's doing back. But I'll pick some kind of movement. You only have to wait 1 second for it. I've got a minute to find out. I'm doing back. I just happen to be using the calf machine for stability. See what I'm saying? Yeah, there we go. All right, so I do want to do some more heavy rowing. Like I only did, well, I guess the 1 set of barbell rows was heavy. And then those machine rows were good, but they weren't that heavy though. So I think a set of the 125s, single arm, should be perfect as the, what would you call it? As the runner up to the last set. You get it. After this, I have 1 more, and then we go check the pump. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the finisher. I think 1 finisher of, well, not light, but like lighter squeezing pull downs would be perfect. And, oh, well, that's Teague. He's going into the yoga room right now, but He'll let me in there to get the pose down done. Okay. All right. Let's go check the pump, man. We're done. There we go. So it's been a couple of minutes, but back is still what I would describe as pretty pumped. Let's see if the visuals match my physical sensation. Huh. So, I mean, that set of pull downs at the end was done in a completely different way than the pull downs in the beginning. Slower, controlled, going for more of a squeeze. Whereas in the beginning, when I was doing the whole stack, I was just trying to burn the fuck out of my lats with as much weight as possible, right? So, no matter what style of set you do, I mean, if you go hard and you end up getting a pump at the end of it, I think you did something right. Oh, okay. There's really only two poses for back. Fucking. Oh. Triceps are starting to get kind of freaky. Only two poses: lat spread and double bi. Just front and reverse. Okay. So, I mean, apart from that, there's really nothing else to discuss. I mean, I'm gonna go do. Actually, wait. What am I talking about? We'll do. Let's get the tank off for that lat spread. It's kind of fucked to do a back lat spread with a tank on. You're covering up half your back. Half the details just getting freaking hidden. So let's hit those one more time, and then we'll get out of here. Okay. All right. I'm gonna do calves, but let's jump to the car.
All right, so calves wasn't really that crazy. I mean, I just sat on the seated calf raise, did about 20 rep sets with about a plate and a plate and a 35, whatever that translates to actual weight. And then did 5 sets seated like that, 20 reps, good squeeze. And then I did 3 just standing up against the wall on a 5-pound plate, doing single leg calf raises. And after that, I just got a pretty good pump. I didn't absolutely obliterate my calves, but I gave them their little daily dose of stimulation. So my plan now, I'm going to kind of go a roundabout way just because the Kroger is pretty close. But I'm at a Sprite Zero, man. I'm thirsty. I need to drink a little something that doesn't have a lot of calories in it, because I'm kind of screwed. I kind of boned myself today. So I got up super early. Today was awesome in terms of my, let's just say, rate of productivity. Because I rolled out of bed 5:30, drank my little electrolyte mix because I just went 7 hours without drinking anything. Took my caffeine pill, the Pure Calf Hostile caffeine pill. Because I don't need pre, but I do want to wake up with something. And I'm not going to drink a Monster every morning, though I do like them. Don't take when I say that you should do caffeine capsules instead of drinking a Bang and stuff like that. It's really just because those sort of things add up. If you're drinking multiple Monsters per day, if you're really crazy, that could be like $10 a day, man. The likes of which you could kind of Gary V style turn into a little bit more cost-effective method. do the caffeine capsules if you really got to be stimulated like that. But no, whatever. So drank my thing. Well, obviously went to the bathroom and weighed myself beforehand. With these fluctuations in weight, it's mainly just water and then food that's still in my stomach. Because I can guarantee that tomorrow I'm going to wake up lighter than today because I've eaten 1,700 calories so far and it's 5 o'clock. So that means for the rest of the night, I only have 700 left. And I'm not going to cheat, so that means that I won't have a ton of stomach. I won't have a ton of food left in my stomach in the morning, which could kind of falsely inflate my weight. You know, I mean, I've had days here where I got up in the morning and I was 234, 235, and then the next day was 230. That's 5 pounds. That's not nothing. But then you got to think to yourself, it's only a one, it's only like a 2% change in total weight. Your body's mainly water too. So don't think that like I'm gaining 5 pounds of muscle in one day or losing 5 pounds of muscle in one day or anything like that. It's really just, changing levels of, let's just say, hydration and, food left in my gut. That's why I say you got to weigh yourself first thing in the morning after you go to the bathroom, because that's the most consistent time to be able to, track your progress. I've stepped on the scale midday with food in my stomach and after drinking a lot of water, I'm like 242, right? Obviously, I didn't gain 12 pounds. I think we get the gist there. But no, so what was I saying? So, drank my stuff, took my vitamins, had a little bit of a live carb smart bagel. So instead of being 50 grams of carbs, it's made of mainly dietary fiber, so only 10 grams of carbs, with some like low fat cream cheese. Because with the vegetables, what am I talking about? With the vitamins, you want to eat some food with them because some of those are fat soluble. So morning, hydrate, vitamins with a little bit of food, go do my cardio, come back, and then I went to Kroger. Yeah, this is the most roundabout story I've ever told. So then I went to Kroger and I got some steaks. I think I got some kind of tenderloin and then a couple other like top rounds. I can't remember exactly. Relatively lean cuts. I would not want to eat a ribeye right now because even a half-pound ribeye, it's gonna have like 35 grams of fat. So I'm not really into that. That's more than half that I have allocated for the whole day. Now, if I go over on my fats a little bit, I'll just go under on my carbs to balance it out. So I got a couple of those, and I made a steak sous vide, and it got cooked perfectly. I left it in there at 127 and a half for like 3 hours. Phew. Um, yeah, I left it in there. I'm not gonna say that little joke again. Uh, so after 3 hours, perfectly cooked. Like I gave it a minute on the cast iron with some avocado oil on either side. But so it was perfectly cooked. Sear was awesome, but I put this pre-blended steak seasoning on it, and it ruined it. Like it was just so. It was like kind of a weird sweetness. I should have just stuck with the basics of salt and pepper. But whatever. So that steak plus the big breakfast, and I made these ham and cheese melts on some other keto bread. That knocked me over the edge. So typically, I want to save my food for later in the day. I'd be much more happy, or I'd be much happier right now at 5 o'clock if I could open up my little macro tracker app and see, well, I've only had 1,000 calories today. Awesome. I get 1,500 before I go to bed. That's perfect. Because I'm not really into like fasting or anything like that. But to an extent, I do a little. Not really, though. Right? I kind of try to save some food for later in the day so I can go to bed with not a full stomach, but not hungry. To go to bed when you're hungry, you're just asking to overeat. Because the second you pull out that little tub of vanilla ice cream and you take one scoop and you tell yourself you're only going to have one, guess what? It's never really one. Uh, Anybody that's tried dieting down and actually tracks their macros and stuff, they know the feeling. They know the freaking feeling. So, gotta go to Kroger, get some. I foresee my grocery cart being filled with Sprite Zero. Actually, Sprite Zero is the only thing I can really imagine vividly. But, I'll just walk around there, see if I need anything else. I got some more of that low carb chocolate milk too. 11 grams of protein per cup and only 7 grams of carbs, 0 grams of fat. So anybody that saw my little grocery Instagram story post, I was getting a lot of replies like, "We see the chocolate milk, you fucking asshole." Come on, man. It's carb smart. You can still eat whatever you want. Kind of. You gotta going for the low calorie options. It is different, but it's not that much worse. It is not that much worse. I tell you what. So I'm gonna go in there, grab my shit, go home, chill. Got nothing else to do today, and then cardio in the morning before arms in the evening. I'm already getting hyped up for that pump. Maybe I'll have a dream about it, and it'll come true when I actually go in there tomorrow. So I hope you're considering starting your cardio, and I definitely hope that you had a solid ass lift today. That's all I got. I'll freaking see you next time.